Hey, I'm Connor Nielsen
And I'm Spencer Nielsen.
of CS Reviews, and I really love a good movie.
And it's day 5 of Horror Week. It is finally Halloween, and what did we choose to do for the 1990s?
Well, we decided to review the 1991 Academy Award winner for Best Picture, The Silence of the Lambs. So what's the plot for Silence of the Lambs?
Well, it's about this FBI student, Clarice Starling, played by Jodie Foster, who is assigned to interrogate renowned psychiatrist turned cannibalistic killer Hannibal Lecter, played masterfully by Anthony Hopkins, and she is trying to find out if he knows anything about this serial killer on the loose named Buffalo Bill, played once more masterfully by Ted Levine. So what did you like about this movie?
First off, I just want to say, this movie is my second favorite horror movie that we've reviewed this week, just behind Night of the Living Dead. The original Night of the Living Dead, I didn't know what to expect when I first saw it. Shocked me a lot. I was shocked. This one, I knew more about it because, it's Silence of the Lambs. A lot of people know about Silence of the Lambs. Everyone knows about Hannibal Lecter. He's AFI's #1 villain. But, I was still shocked a lot by this movie. Not just because of Hannibal Lecter. I was shocked by my biggest pro with the movie, Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill. He scares me. There are not many things that actually scare me, and stuff like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, they kind of creep me out, but Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill, scary.
Stop it.
Yeah, he is creepy. He's more than creepy. He's scary. He freaks me out, and I like how they keep the whole. They don't show you too much. They always they show you like an image or so that might be a little graphic, but they leave the rest up to implication. And I thought this movie, I liked how realistic it was. I liked how Hannibal Lecter, I was kind of intrigued by. For most of the interrogation scenes between Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, but I didn't really love the character until one particular scene. I'm not going to give it away, I'll just give you a clue. The screaming of the lamb scene, that's all I'm going to say. That scene made me really enjoy that character. Took him to a new height. And
Showed you a psychiatrist in him.
yeah, and I thought that, the music for me, I really dug the script. Dialogue was excellent. I liked the characters, especially the bad guys, Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter. Did I say I liked how gritty it was? The realism, the grit, I love it a lot, and I just really enjoyed it. You?
Yes, I also loved this movie. It's no wonder it won Best Picture. When you're watching it, you don't really think of it as a horror movie. You just think of it as part crime drama, part suspenseful thriller. Then you have to actually think about it and think, this is a horror movie. It has all the elements and beyond that. It's just not cliched like everyone thinks a horror movie is. It's very intense.
Yeah, it's psychological horror.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
The climax, if I hadn't known I knew how it ended, but even so, the thought of putting yourself in Jodie Foster's shoes would just, it's just nervous to watch. And also on Jodie Foster, she does a great job too. What makes her character what makes the villains so great and extraordinary is you have to think of how relatable she is. She feels very relatable, very normal, and she's in this odd, bizarre case. And I think it's just, there's only very few times where it seems hokey and then it shows that it's a big budget movie. Mainly when it shows the aerial shots of when they're flying, because sometimes they're in a helicopter or something. It shows these big budget shots, and but that's only for a couple seconds does it lose its grip of that. It doesn't feel like you're watching a movie.
And the thing about when you say it kind of loses its grip a little bit, that's how I felt on the early interrogation scenes with Hannibal Lecter. I kind of felt, the whole movie, it's just bogged down this very realistic, gritty thing. And, that seemed a little kind of, he's just toying with her. But the whole screaming at the lamb scene just shot it back up, and, yeah. But, continue?
This movie, what I love is the cinematography. It makes you feel like you're a fly on the wall, with the exception of, 3 shots, but I wouldn't grade it down on that.
What I personally didn't like, just a very, very small stuff I didn't like, was that there are, that the whole subplot, it's not even hardly explored at all. I don't know why they even brought it in, because it didn't add any emotional depth, to me anyways. Didn't give me any more reasons to care. It's the whole thing that's trying to develop Clarice, because her dad was a police officer, and he dies. And it's so, that whole subplot, it's only like 2 scenes, and it felt very shallow and just kind of shoehorned in there. And for me, that took the whole thing down, because they started like this kind of subplot, but never really explored it. I mean, they talked about it in 1 scene, they showed you 2 scenes of it, and that's it.
Those 2 scenes are pretty short.
And those 2, yeah, they're very short. And what emotional depth did that add to it? Did that whole thing kind of feel like her?
Well, I felt it was a little out of place with the 2 scenes, but with her pretty much being Hannibal Lecter's patient, even though he's in a cell and she's supposed to be interrogating him, I think it added more, because you actually see her emotion in it, and how she's trying to be a tough cop or FBI agent.
Yeah, but for me, that felt shoehorned in there. Anytime they brought it up, it felt shook. And I know that whole thing's kind of supposed to start off the whole lamb metaphor, but they could have thought of something else. I mean, and this is the whole kind of, they started this thing, but they didn't really go anywhere with it, and that's my main gripe with it. And for me, that's enough to give it a grade down. Personally, yeah.
Personally, what I didn't like about it is how I actually have to think about what didn't I like about this movie. It's so enjoyable. I wouldn't give it a perfect masterpiece, because just a few scenes kind of felt just a little out of the ordinary, kind of lost its grip on the suspense, but very briefly. I think maybe I couldn't even give that a downgrade because of how good Adam Levine is, not Adam Levine, Buffalo Bill is in
Ted Levine.
Ted Levine, Ted Levine is as Buffalo Bill. It's strikingly horrifying. If I could give a movie stop it. Yeah, there's not really much I can say. It's just kind of a couple things that just kind of make you. The only cons are that you forget about him, and I think I've completely forgotten about the things I didn't like about this movie.
So what would you give this movie?
I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. It is an almost perfect movie, with the exception of a couple little nitpicks, and I use that word strongly, nitpicks, that are completely expendable, and I forgot about them.
For me, as a movie, this gets a 9.5. It's just the early scenes with Hannibal Lecter felt a little hammy, but this one scene completely takes it out. But for the first 30, 40 minutes, it feels those scenes feel hokey. But once you get past those and this whole scene with this, that completely made me forget about it. But that doesn't excuse the fact that there were those 40 minutes where it did feel a little hokey. And then also, that subplot is kind of, for a personal grade, it gets a 9 out of 10. As a movie itself, it gets a 9.5 out of 10. I think this will make my top 50 favorite movies of all time, and definitely Adam Levine see what you did? Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill has definitely made my top 10 favorite movie villains of all time. So this has been Horror Week.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this. I think next year we might do something like this, but with really bad movies.
So, what's your favorite horror movie? It's Halloween. What's your favorite horror movie? Put in the comments below.
Yeah, and just let us know any suggestions for maybe next year's or any other one of these
themed weeks.
Yeah, these themed weeks with some suggestions below. We'd love it. It's Halloween. We just got back from trick-or-treating with her little brothers, the Phantom of the Opera.
Because he knows how to party like it's 1920s, man. Yeah.
And,
Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera.
I don't think you can see me well, but I'm a zombie.
I'm Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, and this is just a fun Halloween.
Yeah, I really got in the spirit this year. And until next time, oh no, and if you'll excuse us, we have to disappear for several months and then randomly show up in the middle of August like last year. Ciao.